Sully, what's up, man? What you working on? Oh, it's your holiday wish list. That's great. What do you have on there? Looks like you got something written there like 100 times in a row. Oh, the Monsters Holiday Plan, presented by Scene 75. Great. Tickets to up to 4 upcoming games, complete with $20 in Scene 75 play cards. Tickets to up to 4 Monsters games this season, your ski hat, your ice scraper. That's the greatest holiday deal there is. You know, I'll tell you what, Sully, I got a holiday wish of my own, though. It's that we can start the show sometime this week, please. Yeah, come on. Late again. Every time. Gotta come find him. Can't start the show. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Monsters OT, presented by University Hospital Sports Medicine, back at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Tony Brown here with you, and we've got a big show today, so let's get right down to it. In a minute, we'll hear from Monsters head coach Mike Eaves in our marathon interview. We'll take a look at how the Monsters are continuing to grow the game of hockey here in Northeast Ohio, and in our Monster Memories segment, courtesy of HDS Brand Solutions, we take a look at the Monsters career of one of the very finest goaltenders to ever wear a Monsters uniform. But first, we get things started, as always, with headlines courtesy of our friends at Anthem. Our first headline today has to do with a new ticketing system announced recently for Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse events, including all Cavs and Monsters games. New ticketing provider is going to be SeatGeek, so that's exciting and a bit of new technology for Monsters fans to familiarize themselves with as we get set for the upcoming hockey season. The second headline, courtesy again of Anthem, is good news for this building, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, and everybody that's going to be working or being entertained within it. And that's a couple of accreditations that the building has earned here in the last several weeks. And I'm going to read these just to make sure I get it right. But big news, GBAC Star accreditation has been bestowed upon the Fieldhouse. That means that the Fieldhouse is taking the most stringent protocols for cleaning, disinfection, and infectious disease prevention. I know that's reassuring news to absolutely everybody that this building is as safe as it can possibly be to host sporting events going forward. But not to be outdone, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse has also achieved WELL Health Safety Rating status through the International Well Building Institute, IWBI. Basically, that means that the Cavs, the Monsters, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, the Canton Charge, Cavs Legion, everybody is doing all they can possibly do to make this building safe for everybody that's inside of it, especially the fans. So good news there. Our third headline this time around has to do with the Monsters radio broadcast, and this is big news for all of us on the broadcasting side with the club. There will be a new radio home for the Monsters this year, and that will be Fox Sports 1350 AM The Gambler. So that was a really big piece of news to break for the Monsters over the course of the past month or so, and we're excited to be on The Gambler going forward for all of our games starting next season. That's it for headlines. We're going to take a quick break, but before we do that, wanted to remind you guys about the Monsters Holiday Plan. I cannot think of a better stocking stuffer if you've got a hockey fan in the family, or several of them. Starting at just $49.99, you get not only tickets to up to 4 upcoming Monsters games, but also free admission to the Magic of Lights at the Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds. You get a Monsters ski hat, you get a Monsters ice scraper, and $20 in Scene 75 play cards. It's the Monsters Holiday Plan, presented by Scene 75, and I can't think of a better way to celebrate the holiday this year. We'll take a break. When we come back, more Monsters OT, including our marathon interview with head coach Mike Eaves. That's next on SportsTime Ohio.
At university hospitals, our sports medicine experts bring science and compassion together to develop personalized care plans for athletes at every level, from Pee-wee to pro. The same experts who care for the Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Monsters, and the Cleveland Ballet keep our local athletes performing at their best. Schedule an appointment at uhsports.org. University Hospitals, the science of health, the art of compassion.
Protecting yourself, your loved ones, and your community is more important than ever. And with immunizations at Discount Drug Mart, they're as quick and easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1, fill out a short, simple form. You can even do it online. Step 2, stop in and see your friendly pharmacist at your neighborhood Drug Mart pharmacy for flu, shingles, and many other vaccines. You can be in and out quickly and safely. Step 3, you're out the door and heading back home. Simple as that. Discount Drug Mart is your immunization destination.
Rolling.
Me again. Well, isn't this a coinky dink? Says here, Musselman's uses 100% American-grown apples. Where'd they get that idea? Look at that, an American-grown apple tree. Fessed up, Musselman's. You swiped my homemade recipe. Soon the whole world will know it. Be careful with that sparkler.
Musselman's applesauce. You'll think it's homemade too.
Look at that jump there, huh? You see that jump? They come hard, you got to keep it moving. Move your body and move the puck. See how they come, huh? You got to move the puck or move your body. Need support on loose puck. We're good, thank you. Nice, nice. Tex, we're good, thank you. You feel what they're doing, that F1 wants to force you? Yeah. Suck him over, get it back to the D guy. Now he got options. You won it. Hey, you got inside, good for you, good for you. Come on, come on here, come on. Oh! Boys, let's go, come on. That's not good enough. When the shot was taken, did he hit something?
Yeah, so it was 2-on-2.
Yep.
And it was he passed it over, he knocked it out of midair. Real quick play, knocked it out of midair, went down. Third guy went to the net, unchallenged. The other D-man was on the wrong side of him.
Put open,
wide open net.
Oh, very good. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, too bad, too bad. Good idea, good idea. It's all right. Oh! Son of a puppy. Gotta get inside. Liam, you see that? He got inside of him. Hey, respond. Respond right now. Hey, just talk to our guys, huh? Just talk to him. Thank you.
You think I want to get in your way? I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get hit. I'm sorry. He saw me standing there.
Just talk to him. Just come over and have a discussion. Hey, can I call timeout right now, please?
Yeah, you want one right now?
Yes, right now, please. I know this is preseason. Hey, I know this is preseason, but you guys are at a chance to do some things here. This is not who we want to be. So let's wake the fudge up, all right? Let's go back to square one. Text your unit start. Let's get going here. Come on. Here we go.
Welcome back, everybody, to Monsters OT, presented by University Hospital Sports Medicine. And that right there, eavesdropping, one of my all-time favorite segments. What a great way for a fan base to get to know a new head coach in Mike Eaves. And we're happy to be joined by the man himself right now, courtesy of our friends at Marathon. Mike, great to see you. That segment, it's great. It was a great way for the fans to get to know you heading into your first year with the Monsters here in Cleveland. But boy, it seems like that was a long time ago, doesn't it?
It does. I've been with my bride for 9 months, and she'll tell you too, it seems a lot longer than that. It seems like a lifetime ago that we were up in Traverse City, and right now our season would be underway, and we'd be traveling around the Midwest here. And but you're right, it does seem like a lifetime ago.
Well, Mike, last time we spoke, I believe you were at your cabin in Minnesota, but I understand now you've returned to Cleveland. But how have you and your wife been getting along during this time? It's obviously a long time to spend together. What's it been like for you guys?
I'm actually sitting in front of, if I could just move to the side here, this is the view from our deck in Minnesota, and it's a lake, that's an island across the lake, and that's where we were held up for 9 months. And actually not a bad place to be, because we're by the water, we're out in the country. There's always chores to do around the cabin. There's always a project.
Same on this end, that's for sure. A lot more on the to-do list these days. But I have to say, I'm really envious of the location in which you got to spend all this time. What a beautiful place to be as we await the start of another season.
It's one of those places that's good for the soul, and you can look by that picture I mean, it's funny, we look from south to north there. So we actually lived there full time 3 years when we were at St. Olaf College. And some of those storms that come across the lake are pretty amazing. We had some good windows on that side of the cabin, though.
Well, this has got to be the most uncertain time in this industry ever for everybody. But as a head coach of a team, how are you staying engaged, staying in contact, communicating with everyone, and kind of keeping this thing together, even though it's been months and months since you've been able to be on the ice with your guys?
Well, first of all, over the course of the summer, it was a matter, of finding things to keep your hand in the cookie jar. And the cookie jar is our world of hockey. And so it was interesting during the playoffs, our staff here in Cleveland, actually, Chris Clark assigned us different teams, or we chose different teams, and we would create a scouting report for each team, and then we would share that with each other just to keep our minds and hearts in the game and keep sharp that way. As far as the players, I reached out a little bit to some of the older guys just to touch base with them, see how they were doing. Not too often. I think it's something that's a little bit different at the pro game. As a pro, you've got your summers to yourself, but the Gerbies and the Simpsons, and Zach Dalpe, I stayed in touch with, especially with the guys that were banged up a little bit, want to know how they were doing. So I would talk to them directly or to T-Bone. And so it was not a lot, but enough to stay in touch with them and find out what was going on in their world.
All right, let's talk a little bit on ice now. Last season for the Monsters, the theme was injuries, right? I mean, so many guys you expected to be in Cleveland for big chunks of the year, spent a long time up in Columbus getting NHL experience with the Jackets. But as we look ahead to the coming season, when you look at the new faces that have been signed, when you look at the returning players, the guys on Columbus contracts, are you allowing yourself to get excited about this group a little bit? On paper, looks like quite a team.
You take a look at the forwards that we have returning and the guys that Chris Clark has gone out and signed. I mean, right now we've got 18 forwards by my count that are under contract. Now, within that 18 forward group, there's some guys that have to clear waivers and such. So that'll create a little bit of flex there. On defense, we've got 9 guys, but that includes, again, the same type of thing. Guys that have to clear waivers. Young Bernie, there's a young Swiss defenseman that's going to spend the whole year playing over in Europe. So he really isn't a part of that group. The thing that we do know is the fact that we've got our 3 returning goalies, which there's a level of comfort knowing because they did such a good job last year, and we have those coming back. So in terms of controlling what we can right now, I think that we're in a decent place with the defenseman. I think Clarkie's got to keep his antennas up in terms of maybe wanting to get another 1 or 2 guys there, but depending on what happens to the guys that have to clear waivers. So I think we've done a decent job of controlling the things we can in terms of what we can do for a club here next year in Cleveland.
Now, of course, we're still waiting for clarity on a number of different topics, but if we can allow ourselves to think ahead to that moment when this is finally over and you're able to walk into that dressing room and address your players for the first time, what's that moment going to be like for you? And in your opinion, how will all this time spent away from the game of hockey affect everybody, from the trainers to the coaches to all the guys in the room?
As a head coach, I think one of the things that's at the top of your list when you look at a group is the leadership that you have in that locker room. I think when you look at a team, you want to have a talented team. You're not going to win without talent. I think we have young talent that's there. And then the second most important thing is that leadership, the formal leadership, and then the leadership core beyond that. And right now it looks like, we're going to have the same formal leadership. Are we going to have co-captains in Zach and in Gerbs and an assistant captain in Simps? And they are a nice group in terms of their veteran. They know what a good locker room looks like. They know what a good team looks like, and they're going to press that to happen, from within the group. We as a coaching staff are in with them, maybe 20%. We are on the ice, games, in the locker room, on the bus, but there's roughly about 80% that they are themselves. And it's really important that you have that good leadership core in going back for next year and looking now. We had a start last year. We as a coaching staff feel like there's a good rapport, between that former leadership core and us as coaches. So that's really something good to build on.
Well, Mike, thanks again so much for doing this today, taking the time. We'll get you out of here on this question. You know, we're all grinding through this time away from hockey right now, all of us that work in the industry, but also the fans. So I wonder, what, if any, message do you have to them, the folks that miss being at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse and miss the Monsters? How can they stay engaged, stay involved with the game, even when there aren't games to be played?
I think just for the fans, just keep your hand in the cookie jar a little bit. I've seen some advertisements that the club is doing to, you know, for promotions. So when the league does start and they're offering, you know, little gifts and stuff, but I think that keep your hand in the cookie jar when we're able to put out pieces about the team and where it's going and what's happening, to stay tuned into that, because it's you know, we all want to get back on the ice rink, that's for sure, and we just have to stay together on this, and it'll eventually come.
All right, thanks again, Mike. That's Monsters head coach Mike Eaves, appearing courtesy of Marathon. Time now for a break, but when we come back, plenty more Monsters OT on the way, presented by University Hospital Sports Medicine. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this on SportsTime Ohio. Welcome back to Monsters OT, presented by University Hospital Sports Medicine here on SportsTime Ohio. Well, we know that the Monsters have made growing the game an important part of their organization throughout their time here in Northeast Ohio. Grow the Game street hockey clinics are a staple in the summer, but this fall, even amidst the pandemic, the Monsters thought they'd take their Grow the Game efforts to a new level, hosting this fall at the Fieldhouse a girls Grow the Game street hockey clinic for the first time. They got some help from Brianne, McLaughlin, a two-time Olympic silver medalist, too. It was a great day at the Fieldhouse. Let's see how it unfolded.
We didn't have anything like this for all the girls. I was one of two. The other girl was the friend I was talking about in the entire organization. So 4 all the way to 18 years old, we were the only 2 girls in the whole organization that played. So I was really lucky. I had a really good group of guys that I played with, and we played together all the way through high school. But I know that's not everybody's story. So this is pretty cool to come back here and see now all the girls playing or wanting to play and having opportunities like this that I didn't have. I grew up in Elyria, Ohio, playing for the Elyria Panthers. I played there up until high school. I played 1 year at Elyria Catholic, and then that's when I had switched over to the girls. So I played my junior and senior year with the Ohio Flames, and was able to get recruited to play Division I hockey at Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh. So if I'm gonna catch the pass, I wanna give my partner a good target. If I'm standing there like this, he's probably not gonna wanna pass it to me, right? And then from there, I completed my 4 years and then had made the 2010 Olympic team and remained on the national team for 2010, 2014, retired shortly after that from the national team, and then played 2 years with the Buffalo Buttes in the NWHL. Put some heat on that one. Nice job.
We're really excited to be here today. Obviously, this is our first ever Monsters Girls Hockey Clinic, and it's just great to see so many girls out here. And obviously with Brianne, who's an Olympic medalist.
Okay, so hold it like this real quick. Okay, so this hand is gonna come over the top. So switch that the other way. It was great to see the girls that had never played before, you know, teach them how to hold their stick, to stick handling, and by the end of the hour they were going between cones and scoring goals and celebrating and everything like that. So that's been fun.
And we signed up because it's always a great opportunity to find camps and clinics around the area that specialize in girls hockey. She's on an all-boys team, so it's kind of exciting to have something and let her experience playing with girls also.
I like being involved in stuff like this because I didn't have any of this stuff growing up. I played with the boys, which I didn't mind, but I also had a really good experience and a good environment to grow up and play in. The longer I do this and I coach and I'm involved in things like that, I've learned that not all girls have that. And I run my own girls camp, and the difference seeing them on their boys teams and then seeing them at camp being surrounded by other girls and they're making friends, I think it just makes a huge difference. What was your name? Annie. Okay. Georgia, Anastasia, Kendra, Annie. I'm making my way. learning you all. Whether you're just starting or you've been playing forever, I think you're just going to naturally have ups and downs, just like anything else. Honestly, those are all life lessons, so whether it's hockey or anything else, things are going to get frustrating, and for me, I just always needed to find a fun way to get back to it. Did you score? You did? Nice job. Air high five. So I do at my camps. I make my friend run it, and then I just run around and play with all the kids. So my advice would be to let them try it. Find an environment for them that's a positive one, a fun one, whether it's playing girls or maybe they want to play some boys stuff too. But as long as they're having fun, they're learning to work hard and play together with other kids and be competitive, I think that's the biggest thing. We've all talked about for so long, me and my national team teammates, about having that opportunity not only for ourselves but for you guys to be able to sit there and say, I want to play professional hockey. Like, you guys get to do that, and that's so cool because we didn't get to do that. We got to do it, I mean, play in it, but we didn't have that dream when we were your guys' age.
That is pretty cool. Not only a chance to learn about the game of hockey from a two-time Olympic medalist, but to get up close and personal with those silver medals. That's a memory those girls will never forget. With that, we're going to step aside one more time. When we come back, it's Monsters Memories, presented by HDS Brand Solutions, only here on Monsters OT, presented by University Hospital Sports Medicine on SportsTime Ohio.
At university hospitals, our sports medicine experts bring science and compassion together to develop personalized care plans for athletes at every level, from Pee-wee to pro. The same experts who care for the Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Monsters, and the Cleveland Ballet keep our local athletes performing at their best. Schedule an appointment at uhsports.org. University Hospitals, the science of health, the art of compassion.
Welcome back, everybody, to Monsters OT, presented by University Hospital Sports Medicine. It's time for our Monsters Memories segment, as always, presented by our friends at HDS Brand Solutions. Now, a couple of you might have thought in our last episode, when we were going through our list of Calder Cup champions still with the team, that we forgot somebody very important. And maybe we did, but we're going to make it up to him today by focusing on one of the greatest goalies to ever wear a Monsters uniform. That's right. We're talking about 2016 Calder Cup champion Jonas Corpasolo. What a career Corpasolo has had over the past 5 seasons at the AHL level with Cleveland and then at the NHL level with the Columbus Blue Jackets. We all know that he's a 2016 Calder Cup champion, and with 46 Monsters appearances under his belt, he's right up there in a lot of club all-time goaltending statistical categories. On the NHL side of things, he's simply put one of the best young goalies in the league. He was named to the All-Star team last season and also owns the all-time single-game saves record, made 85 stops in the playoffs against Tampa Bay earlier this year. An unbelievable achievement, and it got us thinking back to some specific Monsters memories. And how about the Indians Night 9-round shootout? We're going to flash all the way back to January the 28th of 2017, Tribe Night here at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. We had some Indians players out pregame. An exciting game progressed into a shootout, and wouldn't you know, on a baseball-themed night, there were 9 rounds to this particular shootout with who else but Jonas Corpasolo delivering the clinching save.
Doing it way out of his net. Sterling threatens to the forehead. Corpasolo denies, and the Monsters win the game in the shootout. Bjorkstrand, the hero. Corpasolo holds down the fort, and Cleveland gets the most dramatic win of the year by a final score of 3-2.
All-time most entertaining shootouts I think I've ever watched, and boy, again, just perfectly fitting. The Corpy wins it on Tribe Night in the bottom of the 9th. That was awesome. Well, that's pretty much it, folks. That's another edition of Monsters OT presented by University Hospital Sports Medicine. A lot of thank yous before we say so long. First of all, to Monsters head coach Mike Eaves. Great to catch up with Mike for the first time in what seems like an awfully long time. Thanks to our sponsors, University Hospital Sports Medicine, Marathon, HDS Brand Solutions, and of course, Anthem. Thanks also to Mark Zaremba, Chris Thomas, and the entirety of our amazing Fieldhouse creative crew that make this show happen on an episode-to-episode basis. And that's it. Until next time, I'm Tony Brown, reminding you guys to mask up, stay safe, and join us on the next edition of Monsters OT, presented by University Hospital Sports Medicine, only right here on SportsTime Ohio. I mean, that was reasonably usable, I think, taken as a whole.